Plug-in solar is coming, but should you buy a kit for yourself? Well, probably yes, but there's a lot more nuance available if you're interested, so let's dive in. First, why am I, the PC gaming tech reviewer, someone you should listen to about solar in the UK? Well, I built my very own DIY solar power system like 3 years ago now and have been using, upgrading and tinkering with it ever since. I have at least some idea of what all this does, so let's get straight into it, starting with what even is plug-in solar. It's actually pretty simple, at least on the face of it. You get 1 or 2 solar panels, an 800 watt maximum micro inverter, and it just plugs into your wall, and it powers your house while the sun is shining. It's pretty cool. To be precise, the microinverter is really the thing we're talking about here. You can already buy solar panels on their own from a bunch of places, even often locally, but if you want to hook them up to your house and you don't want to run your own separate wiring off-grid power system type thing like I do, well, you need an electrician, dedicated circuits, and a lot of bureaucracy and paperwork. These grid-tie microinverters are a bit of a step change in how the UK and European governments see power generation. This is often called balcony solar, especially in Germany, as people buy a panel or two to hang off of their balconies, off their flats, and these basically are just being introduced into the UK, with Lidl being set to sell the first kits real soon. These little inverters are grid following, meaning they require a grid power connection to be able to output power. They don't produce their own power signal, meaning in a blackout, if your area, loses power, which admittedly is fairly rare in the UK, you will still be left without power. This is actually a really key safety feature, so you don't accidentally electrocute a power line worker who thinks that the line they're working on is dead. So that's the first con. If your power goes out, this style of solar won't help you. The other, possibly more obvious con is that you'll only be able to use however much energy is being produced at that moment, in that moment. Well, that might be useful if you have 800 watts of equipment running during the day. It's much more likely that you use the majority of your energy at night. And hell, even though your fridge itself is generally running like half the time, half duty cycle, so you will struggle to get all that much sort of use out of that solar energy. And especially since the feed-in rates have plummeted, so any excess energy you generate being pushed back into the grid have basically dropped to zero, you might struggle to find much benefit from just a panel or two and a microinverter. Storage though, well, that's where it's at. Storing all of that energy and being able to use it later, now that's what we're talking about. Unfortunately, there isn't just a sort of super easy way to add a battery to these standard plug-in solar kits. There are some plug-in solar solutions, namely from the likes of Anker and their Solix plug-in kits, but well, first of all, they'll run you a pretty penny, and as far as I'm aware, they aren't actually approved for the UK at least yet. Anker doesn't make these available to the UK yet, although they are available in Germany as both plug-in and wire-in solutions. Still, they'll run you a pretty penny, over €1,000 for a very small 2.7 kilowatt hour battery and a built-in 800 watt or 1200 watt if you wire it in directly inverter. That is a lot, enough to make you consider just getting a proper solution instead. At least with Aferes, I don't know how to say that properly, PS240 option, you will be able to, sort of get into it for a not unreasonable amount of money and can still work as a plug-in with a whole lot more solar input capacity. If you did go for a full install, you're obviously looking at a higher cost, both in labor and materials. You'll also likely want more panels, likely up on your roof if you even have one available, so you'd be looking at £5 minimum, up to 10 for a regular sized house here in the UK. That's quite the step up from a couple £100 for a panel or two and a microinverter. The halfway house solution is basically what I've done, an off-grid system. I have a separate 3 kilowatt inverter in the shed, acting as a battery heater as well, which actually works remarkably well, and separate wiring. And I just switch loads on and off grid and to solar based on how much energy the battery has stored. I do have to manage this pretty manually, keeping an eye on my DIY LiFePO 4 battery's cell voltages and tracking both how much generation we've had in that day and how much energy or how much of that we've used, also taking into account the inverter efficiency losses, which is not insignificant, and does mean though that I can run basically anything a standard 13 amp socket would run from solar, especially as the inverter is rated to 6 kilowatts at peak. So my 2 servers, my gaming PC are all fair game, as is my portable air conditioner in the summer. Getting back to plug-in solar, it's worth making clear the limitations. Much like Germany, the UK is planning to have an 800 watt limit on plug-in solar appliances, basically as a catch-all for safety. If you've got old wiring to a, outdoor socket with poor insulation, 800 watts is generally low enough that that isn't likely to cause a major problem or fire in your walls if you plug one of these kits in. Obviously, a UK plug is where the 13 amp fuse is rated for around 3 kilowatts at peak or a bit over 2 kilowatts sustained. So you can see just how limited this sort of balcony solar limit is by comparison. You can also add in the fact that most socket circuits, which are actually in the UK are ring circuits rather than radials, have a 32 amp MCB or circuit breaker. Yeah, they're definitely leaving some room for some overhead. The one area that I've yet to have a final answer on is if you're allowed to plug in multiple of these kits at once, still ideally 2 different sockets or even better, different circuits, as the wording is around allowing up to 800 watt units, not 800 watts total. That is also potentially important, as solar can be a little tricksy. If all of your panels are together, facing the same way and all getting the same amount of sun, awesome, you're set, you don't need to worry about a thing. But if you put, say, one panel on one corner and another on a different face, a different wall, to sort of get sun at different times of the day, well, you might actually be losing a decent amount of power, as one of the key features of these little microinverters, and frankly any good solar charger type device, is MPPT, or maximum power point tracking. Basically, the charger or inverter will figure out the ideal voltage and amperage to extract the most power out of the panels. But if one panel is getting all of the sun and another isn't, and they're hooked up together, well, that means the charger or inverter can't extract anywhere near as much power from the one in the sun as it could if they were separate. In that case, 2 separate inverters would work a lot better, but potentially could run afoul of the rules if multiple of these kits aren't allowed, especially on the same circuit and definitely on the same socket. On the whole though, balcony solar, or plug-in solar, whatever you want to call it, is a really cool option for those that don't have a roof to fill with solar, who don't want to spend 5 or 10 grand to get it fitted to their roof just yet, or for those who are just renting and can't make long-term modifications like that to a house that you don't own. The fact that they will be available in stores soon is amazing. And even just for staving off a little bit of cost, likely up to about £100 a year at most with the current energy prices, is brilliant. I'm excited for these to hit the shelves, even if I'm likely going to stick with my own solution for the time being. If you are serious about balcony solar though, I would highly recommend trying to stick a battery in the middle. It really, like that A3 one being more like £700 right now would definitely help you get the most out of it. Especially as you can then add more panels to charge up the battery, even if you're only using 800 watts out of it at most. So you can actually make use of the power when you need it. It's a really good idea. Anyway, those are my thoughts about balcony solar. It's really cool. I'm excited to see them on shelves. Not quite for me though. If you're interested, feel free to let me know what you think in the comments down below. Check out my DIY solar videos on the end cards if you're interested. Hit the subscribe button if you want to see more stuff, because I do actually have a second solar project coming soon. I'm going to be adding 2 extra panels to a new sort of pergola type thing that I'm building out the back of the house now that we own the place. And so that'll be an extra, a little bit over 1 kilowatt. So I'm adding a second battery charger and all that jazz. So yeah, if you're interested in that, stick around. And otherwise, yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you on the next video.